The fall is here, and you might be wondering what to do with all the plants to prep them for the weather. I met up with Plant Geek to learn about some great tips and tricks.
Today's home improvement is brought to you by Aero Service Team.
Good morning. I am about to talk about one of my favorite things, plants, with Miss Brecca. She is the plant geek. If you think I am, she really is. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, so we're going to talk about pruning, like when to prune, when not to prune, how much to prune, because it can be kind of overwhelming and intimidating, like when you're looking in your plants in your yard.
And I think the biggest thing is knowing the different names of your plants and the times that they bloom. That's going to be beneficial to when you want to do pruning. So if you have plants that are going to be your spring blooming plants, you're going to want to prune those later on in the season, later on fall, end of October, early November, because they're going to be going dormant, and that'll be a good time. When you're pruning, you're going to be causing like a wound on the actual plant, and so you don't want it to be shocked when it gets all that winter cold North Dakota air. So
okay, so these are lilies.
Correct, yeah.
And I'm a little bit embarrassed because these kind of look a little rough. What should I have done?
So you see lilies in a lot of landscaping places around town, and they're more of a plant that's going to bloom once. You may be able to get it to bloom twice, just depending on when you do your pruning. So right after it is done blooming, then that's when you're going to want to prune off these taller shoots and clean up a lot of the...
Came right on out.
Yep, and clean up a lot of that deader area on the bottom. Okay. So that'll just give it more airflow and more natural light, and it'll help make your plant grow. This is a spirea here, and these bloom, there's some spireas that bloom in spring and then some that bloom in summer. So this one again here, it's going to be better to do your pruning when the plant is not dormant. So you could do it at the end of October again or early spring. And just by making some thinning cuts in here to get some of this old wood out of there is really going to help your plant.
Okay, so this is something you don't want to like hack into like a ball, you were saying.
Yeah, you don't want to do a big shearing cut and form it into like a globe or anything. When you're pruning this, you want to prune it so that the bottom is a little bit wider than the top. That way the top branches aren't going to be blocking the shade, and yeah. So the thinning cut is just going to help get more sunlight into the lower branches. It's going to help with airflow, and overall your bottom leaves are going to be more healthy. So.
And then about how much? Like how much do you cut off?
About 15% would be plenty for this one. This one doesn't have a whole lot of die-off, so I think it would be just fine.
Yep. Right. Okay, now talking about shears. If I've cut something else and now...
Yes, so it's very important to be taking care of all of your pruning devices in between plants, just because you don't want to have the risk of spreading diseases like fire blight or whatever from plant to plant.
This is columbine, and I was talking about how like for the last couple years it's looked like it's been sprayed by something to make it look dead.
So columbine don't have a very long lifespan to begin with. But in this case, one thing that may be beneficial is to do like a rejuvenation type pruning. So that's when you're gonna cut it way down, almost to the ground level.
Okay.
And again,
so like
yep. And again, rejuvenation is good for a lot of plants that are kind of at the end of their life cycle or just need a lot of fresh rejuvenation come spring. Keep in mind that this is only going to work for plants that are multi-stem like this one here. It's not going to work for any of your shrubs that have more of like a single stem.
Okay. So I would just like, would I wait till the hard freeze?
Yes, I would wait again till the hard freeze. And when you're doing rejuvenation planting, you may be cutting off some of those blooms, those blossoms as well. So keep in mind that the next year, they may not have a full bloom right away, but in future years, it's really going to help freshen them up.
Another thing that you suggested was taking the seeds out, deadheading these.
Yep, so when they're done blooming for the year, you could always cut off, right down to where the stem starts. And you could harvest these seeds and then plant them again come spring.
And now, with it being like at the end of its life expectancy, like if it doesn't come back, you're just gonna have to...
Yeah, then you'll have to plant something else here. You see that a lot of times. Landscapers will have a plant that it's just gonna be easier for them just to take it out completely and put something fresh in there, so.
Gotcha. Well, Brecca, now what if, like, I can do this by myself, right? But what if I don't want to?
Well, then you can give me a call. I'm all about all things plants, so I like coming to people's houses and educating them just on the different types of plants they have, what kind of care they may need. We can take care of any of your pruning needs you may have, do fertilization, things like that.
And you even like plant sit.
I do plant sitting. So if you have anybody that may be going on vacation or, you know, snowbirds looking for someone to stop by their house and take care of your plants when you're gone, just give us a call and we'd love to help you out.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Becca. This has been awesome.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Back to you in studio. For more information on The Plant Geek, you can find her on Facebook at The Plant Geek.